gunfight. Hey guys, so I hope you enjoyed that video. I want to take a second to talk about some of the guns that I was using for some of these different rounds. So starting off, we have this 13.7 SPR. It's essentially like in Modern Warfare, the regular M4 with a mounted magnified optic, and then I have a offset. So this is a rifle that I use for just a lot of different stuff. I can take it out to range, I can use it up close, and then I have a full-size Surefire suppressor on there. Really nice build, I really like that. I have a different upper that I swap out on this lower that has a standard just 1-6 on there. The full auto M4 that I was using was this one right here. I had a lower that was provided by an agency buddy of mine, but this is a 10.3. I have an aim point T2 on a riser, and then I have a shorty mini can on here. I need a little bit more gas to get this to cycle nice and fast, so I threw the can on there, and then I was good to go. This rifle is also outfitted with a law folder, so I can fold the stock to fit in bags, which is nice. The MCX I was using, I had a mini suppressor on there, the one that was on one of these other rifles. The MCX platform is one of my favorite rifles out there. I have a bunch of these, and what I really like about this gun is how modular it is. I can swap out the rails very easily. I can run a longer can underneath. I can run a short can. So this is an 8-inch rail, sort of like a PDW, so it's nice and short. And then I have the standard retracting stock, so this can get really small. And I have an EOTech on a riser on this gun. The riser comes in handy just because this collapsing stock comes up so high that it's hard to get a good cheek weld, so that's why I have a 3/8 riser right there, and then I have a PEC 15 and a mod light on one of our light bars, and I'm good to go with this little guy. Now, the fun gun that is in Modern Warfare, the standard M4, is this guy right here. This is the Mark 18 CQBR, and obviously in the game you can customize, you know, what length barrel you have, what kind of rail, but this guy right here has a standard 10.3 barrel with the Daniel Defense Wrist 2 rail. Again, I have an EOTech, an LA5, Surefire, and I'm good to go. And if I wanted, I could add this full-size RC2 suppressor right on the front. Let's get that locked on. And now I'm suppressed. And I could substitute this full-size suppressor for a short suppressor like on a couple of these other guns, and I'd be good to go. But I really enjoy this gun. It's had a lot of rounds through it. I teach classes with it. Moving on, getting to the Benelli. This is a M1014 clone, essentially. This is not in the game, the 870, and there's some other stuff in the game, but I don't have a lot of shotguns. I don't even like shotguns a whole lot, but this guy is a lot of fun. I was obviously doing a dual load. I'll get into the carriers that I was using for that here in a minute. I had an aim point T1. I've had some modifications done to this gun. I have a larger loading port, which makes loading the shotgun a little bit quicker, especially if you're doing a dual or a quad load. And then this guy, I just had a lot of fun using this guy in the video. I'm gonna have to shoot it a little bit more. I also have a M14 Ebr. This is actually built on a SOCOM 16, so this is a 16-inch barrel. It's not the traditional 16 or 18, and I just have an aim point T2 on here. I'll be putting a scope on here at some point, a 1-6, but for now I just have a red dot, just running this guy up close. Super fun. It's definitely front heavy, a little bit dated, but definitely a very cool looking gun and very nostalgic as far as the Modern Warfare games go. Then of course we have the Krink. This is a super fun gun. I have a Dead Air Wolverine can on here. They make this can to be very similar to the cans that are made in Russia, so it's very clone correct. I had the T2 that was on my EBR on this gun out here on the rail. Mounting optics to AKs is not great. There's obviously like side mounts you can get, which I sometimes use by RS Regulate, but throwing it out here on the rail also works really well. And I'm still getting accustomed to just loading these guys. Loading AKs is not as optimal as an AR, but it's definitely something that you can get pretty fast at with training. So this guy's pretty cool. And then obviously I have a folding triangle stock, so this guy can get pretty small and super fun gun. For the MP5, I was using an MP5 SD. I don't have it here with me, again, provided by an agency buddy of mine, but this is my MP5 that I normally run, and so I have a Surefire handguard, like you'll find in Modern Warfare, and then I have a standard aim point. There's obviously tons of red dots you can put on the guns in Modern Warfare, but this is how I have mine set up. This gun's had a lot of rounds through it, and it's definitely a fun setup. This is a semi-only, but that's okay, because semi-auto is generally speaking better than select fire. Getting into handguns. So the handguns is the really fun part. This is a SIG M17 or 320, whatever you want to call it. Obviously in Modern Warfare it's called the M17, which is the military designation. But this is just a regular 320. I have the tan frame, that's an M17 frame, and then I have the TAC-OP slide, which has suppressor sights and the threaded barrel. This is a reverse threaded barrel, so I can throw a can on there. And then I have an X400, which you will see in the game. You can use it for night vision stuff. It's got a white light as well. It's pretty cool, although a red dot is generally speaking more effective under night vision, so that's what I would recommend if you need something to put on your pistol so you can shoot accurately with night vision. Go with a red dot instead of a laser like this. Now, obviously, the 320s are not bad pistols by any means, but I prefer the Glock. This is a Glock 19 with suppressor sights, and I have a D-ball PL, again, for night vision use, but I would recommend a red dot. This guy's super fast. I have a little bit of a lighter trigger. It's about 4 pounds. Magwell, make my reloads a little quicker, as you guys saw in the video. Got some sleight of hand in there. And then I also have this Aimpoint Acro, which you guys might have seen on a Unity tactical slide, and this one is suppressed. I can move this can to other guns as well if I want, but this is pretty cool. This is a new optic that just came out that I'm playing with, and it's interesting. I'm definitely going to be doing a video on this in the future, kind of talk about that and get some video just specifically on this guy, running and gunning, some different drills and things like that. Again, have a mag wall on here. Just makes reloading a little bit easier, a little more consistent. You can be fast without one, but it does help just make things a little bit more consistent for sure. And then this is my carry optics gun. It has a Delta Point Pro, Zev, a Glock 17 slide, Surefire, and I use this for my carry optics gun for competition, but this guy has had a lot of rounds, probably about 30 to 40K, I want to say, something like that. This guy gets shot the most of all my guns. And then I also have, over here, actually, my Glock 34. So this is another one of my main guns that I use. I use this for teaching classes when I need to run iron sights, if I'm with a department or a unit that is still running irons. This is the gun that I use. I can remove the magwell or I can use the magwell, just kind of depends. But this guy's super fast. I'm shooting this in a match this coming weekend, and he's just shoots super nice. I wish these were in the game, but you know what it is. So anyway, we got, as far as the gear goes, the gear that I was using, some of y'all are wondering, how are you accessing your magazines so quickly, or your pistols from your holsters? I was running, this is a Ronin Tactics belt. I then have T.REX arms holsters. Obviously I have a Ragnarok SD on here for the suppressed pistol use. And then for mag carriers here, I have an HSGI Taco that I was running for my AK mags. Kydex Mars carriers from T.REX, which are super fast for re-indexing magazines if you're doing like tac mags and stuff like that, which is I was doing a lot of. When it comes down to shotgun, when I was doing my dual loads, these are Safariland quad loaders. So what I was doing is I was literally just grabbing 2 rounds. I was using my, I want to say I was using my right hand. I wasn't using my left. I normally do left. Grab 2 shells like so, drop it right in, and you're good to go. I would love to see this implemented in a game in the future, where every time you go to load your shotgun, you load 2. It's a little bit faster. So it's not just speeding up the animation, moving the hand faster, but it's just grabbing 2 shells and then you drop them both in. So this is super nice. I normally, what I have to do for this match coming up, I have to do a quad load. Quad load looks something like this, where I bring my hand in, again, this could be in the game, and I rip all 4 shells. So I do the first row, second row, and I should have 4 rounds in the gun within about 2 seconds. So pretty cool for sure. It's not necessarily the most practical as far as running around and going prone. If I go prone, all the shells will just go everywhere. I'll just smash through, and so obviously not the most practical thing ever. And then again, using Mars carriers, Kydex carriers for speed, which is super awesome, and they get the job done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're going to be producing some more things. I'm personally really looking forward to Modern Warfare. The gunplay and the mechanics in the game are second to none as far as the Call of Duty series goes. And obviously, you guys may have seen some stuff in this video that look very similar as far as, mechanics and weapon manipulation. And that's just because the guys over there at Infinity Ward have been doing their research, getting good reference. And so the game it's realistic to a point where the game can still be picked up by anybody and played, but it's realistic enough that people like me who shoot guns all the time can appreciate it. And I really enjoy what Infinity Ward is doing as far as the weapons go. And I personally can't wait to play the full game in October. So, see you around then. Yeah!